Hey there, Marina Ormes here with your Astro Vibe for Tuesday, November 8th. We are having an eclipse early this morning around 3 a.m. Pacific time, 6 a.m. Eastern, so it depends on your time zone. But the eclipse, of course, is powerful energy. We've been anticipating it for months, if not years, and I went in depth into the astrological energies of this eclipse in my video on Sunday. So check that out if you want to know more about what's going on with the planets, the alignments, what it all means in terms of the bigger collective evolutionary process and how we might be shifting. Watch that video for more insights into and details into that. Today, I thought we'd focus on self-care and it being such an important day astrologically. And of course, election is today. So many of you are thinking about that. You're voting, hopefully. If you haven't voted already, you might be helping to get out the vote, working on themes related to the election and putting energy and efforts into that, which is wonderful. And so how can you, wherever you are in that process of holding space for the outcome for this election and what you want to see, how can you take care of yourself? So we've got the moon in Taurus all day. Of course, with the eclipse early in the morning, we have that potent energy of getting us to really think about who we are, what we want, what's important to us, what kind of world we want to live in. We're making choices today. Today is a day of choice. It's not a day of sitting around and chewing on your nails and waiting to see if you're going to be okay or not. And so the message here is really that we are at choice, we are active, we can be proactive in terms of making decisions for ourselves and how we're going to be in the world, how we're going to engage with politics, but also with everything we do in the world, in our work, in our social interactions, etc. If we're doing all those things and being and living in a way that conveys the essence of what we want to be, how we want to show up, how we want to be seen and share love with others, not just romantic love, but love that just means we're caring for one another and supporting one another in being our very best selves, which is how love flows from one to another, but also in the bigger picture in supporting us to have our needs met and have all the support that we need to become all that we're capable of becoming, and even more than we can imagine that we're capable of becoming. So self-care, when the moon is in Taurus, self-care is about remembering that we are part of the earth. It is about experiencing beauty through our senses, keeping our feet on the ground. So anything that grounds you, anything that reminds you of who you are, where you belong, what's important to you. Self-care can really look like being an advocate, also being an advocate for life and divine energies, feminine energies, women's rights, being an advocate for the things that are important to you, the ways that you want to live on the planet, and the ways that we want to have our systems and structures in such a way that it can support creative solutions to problems and not just feeling like we're looking for an easy answer that could take us back many decades. So it's not easy, but it's very, very rewarding. And to continue to support yourself in being an advocate can reminding yourself that you are at choice, that you do have choices in how you respond. You have choices in how you share and offer yourself, your energy, your presence. And so all the ways that you show up as an advocate for the things that are important to you. And that, of course, means voting. It also means helping others to vote and so much more, right? Being involved in the world in a way through volunteering, through activism, through being a voice of what it is you want to share and experience. So with the moon in Taurus, again, we have this reminder of the importance of beauty, the importance of connecting with the earth, with nature, with and thinking about the way that you want to see a plant or, grow and thrive, right, in your garden, and the way that you take care of that, and you're hoping to see it, come to its full potential, reach its full potential, grow, be vibrant, healthy, blossom, share more of its beauty. And so think about that too as we show up in the world and show up for each other around this election process and these decisions that we are making in the collective, that you are an active participant in helping to make. And so there's not an endpoint, right? Even if the forces that we don't want to see get some power, get some control, have some wins, it's just one battle. It's not the whole war. So we keep going. We keep doing what we're here to do. And what has been happening is that behind the scenes, each of us doing our own healing and personal growth and evolutionary work is all happening sort of under the surface, beneath the obvious. I think that there is a growth and a blossoming of truth, of self-love, of self-care, and the way that those things are coming to fruition within us is not something the world has really counted on yet. So we don't know yet what we are becoming. Don't be discouraged by things that, the drama that's happening around you. Just like they say, ignore the noise and keep going. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. There are I guarantee you that there are organizations out there that you can get connected up with that have communities of like-minded people. If you're not already doing that, look for something that really resonates for you, because there are so many people and organizations already coming together to do this work and to address what the source of where the problems are coming from, and to look at real solutions for how to address them and how to be more healthy and whole in the collective, and how we create that wholeness and that wellness for ourselves as a bigger organism, not just for us individually, but for us in our communities and in our society. So self-care looks like getting grounded. It looks like taking some deep breaths, taking some breaks, getting your own physical needs, taking care of your body, right? Some people are having a very, very busy day. So take time to eat, take time to go to the bathroom, take time to do, just like nurses always talk about, it's like you have to take your break, because if you don't, you can't keep being there for others, and you're not as effective. So taking care of your body and remembering why you're doing this. So just like you would nourish and nurture a plant that you want to see grow and blossom, how are you nourishing and nurturing and putting your positive energies, your resources, things that can help and support the efforts to grow of women's rights, of healthcare, of inclusiveness, of social justice, of climate issues, all the things that reducing violence, right? And creating a society that works and is safe and feels safe and supportive for all of us to actualize our potential. So we also, of course, have the energy of Mars retrograde in Gemini. The moon, after it's in Taurus, the moon's going to go into Gemini. And so as we are seeing the voting close tonight, and the results starting to come in. And I don't know if some of the results sounds like they might take some time for us to really get answers. And so we're going to go from the Taurus moon into the Gemini moon. And in that Gemini moon, facts matter, information matters, how information is shared. We're actually in a battle nationally for the narrative and for what kind of information is going to be shared and how it's going to be shared, and a battle for what we collectively believe and think. So be sure to, in whatever ways is right for you, to get your voice in there to say, here's what's true that I know. Here are the facts that I'm aware of. Here's the information and the place to find the information that you can trust. And keep sharing those with people who may not fully be cognizant of where to find those facts and that information, and get the messages out there, that because these messages are being shared and spread on the individual level. So in your families, in your communities, and I know not everybody has families that are even able to talk to each other right around some of these issues. So it's not so much about whether you can talk to and reach every single person that you might have a disagreement with, or you might wish would understand or believe something that you believe. It's less about that and more about finding those openings, those little openings of where you can share a fact or a perspective or a way of saying something that could make someone else think, or not, maybe change their mind, but maybe just have a different way of thinking about it that's going to start the wheels turning that could eventually make an opening to change a perspective. And that's all of that is important and powerful and relevant, and going to be part of how we keep moving forward in this evolutionary process. So no matter what happens with this election, and one thing that's happening is that the power of advocacy for women's rights and children, right? Children being safe in schools, for example, and people who've been marginalized and underprivileged, issues of economic disparities, et cetera. All of that is there. There are some powerful voices that I think are going to be showing up around this time and during this election process because of its timing with the eclipse season. And as we as we make these choices and go forward, the point is that it's not all or nothing. One day is not determining the end result of anything. So just take a deep breath and let yourself let go of needing to win, or it's like, do everything you can do, but then also trust that this is a longer term process, and it's going to require continued effort, continued advocacy, continued awareness and evolution for yourself. And so you're developing your own voice, you're developing your own ability to share and be creative and show up in ways that help this bigger process. So anyway, kind of went off on that for a while, but thank you so much for listening, and take good care of yourself today. Make sure that you get to the polls and vote, and get some friends to vote. Ask everybody you know if they voted. Make sure that it gets becomes a priority for people in their busy days. And thank you so much for all you do and to support health and well-being and wholeness and this evolutionary process that we're doing to heal, to grow, and to become stronger and more powerful human beings together. Thank you for watching. I'm here, Marina Ormes here on Astrology Heals. I'm here with a Astro Vibe self-care video every day to tell you what's going on with the planets and how it can support you and how you can work with the energies that are present and available and how they can remind you of the bigger picture of what's going on and sometimes get us out of the sand so we can see what's really happening and remind us that we do have power and choice in every moment. And so hit subscribe if you haven't already. I thank you so much for being here and for following me and all your support. All right, I will be back and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.